Welcome to the Coach's Corner with Coach Matt Turner and the voice of the Buckeyes, Jeff Rash. Hi, I'm Jeff Rash, voice of the Gilmer Buckeyes. I'm joined here by our good friend and no stranger to anybody in Gilmer, Texas, our head coach of the Gilmer Buckeyes, Mr. Matt Turner. Coach Matt Turner, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see
Thank you
Jeff.
for being here. I know your schedule is crazy this time of year, so we appreciate you taking a couple of minutes out to talk about the Buckeyes with your fans. We'll get into the game here in a moment, but I mentioned the word fans, and so I want to open up with a couple of questions about that. You've been in Gilmer now for 12 years in this area of your coaching career, and you're embedded in the community. You go to church here, you raise your kids here, and by the way, speaking of kids, congratulations, Luke Turner, your boy, 2 touchdowns this last week. Tied his personal best. That's good.
Appreciate that.
Punched 2 in there. We got to throw a little love out to Luke, former Buckeye.
Yeah, there you go.
A little bigger than he was when he played as the Buckeye.
Yeah, they're feeding him well there.
Yeah, they
guys.
are, evidently. Let's talk a little bit about the fans here in Gilmer. I mean, we always travel well. We've got very excited, enthusiastic fans that pack the stadium week in and week out. I know you may not realize this because you're always already on the field making preps, but if you don't get to the game an hour before, you're going to park a mile away from the stadium. I mean, literally, the neighborhoods behind, Hollybrook, that road all the way down there, they're well past that, in cars. So if you live in that neighborhood, you might as well walk. What does that make you feel like, and how important is that in the game itself?
Well, I mentioned this the other day, I guess, to a group of boosters or something. In my 34 years, and I've been pretty fortunate to be around some pretty good programs, I've really never seen anything quite like the fan base we have here in Gilmer. I mean, the passion for the team, the school, and to me, that's what it speaks to. I mean, it's a community pride thing there.
Oh, sure.
The people of Gilmer are very proud of Gilmer and the things of Gilmer, and they expect greatness, and they like to see things done well, and they come out to see it. And, obviously it makes it special for the players and coaches and band, twirlers.
Drill team, the whole team.
Everyone. Yeah. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing to see. I mean, our motto is family. Well, for us, a home game's like a family reunion every Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a whole community comes together and celebrates Gilmer. So the fact that you just get to be a part of that,
it's pretty special.
Is very special.
Something you don't take for granted.
I don't ever take that for granted.
Yeah.
Ever.
And it's fun because we've got an enrollment of around 700 or so kids this year in the school, I believe in the high school.
Yes.
And it looks like at least 400 of them are participating in something, whether it's ROTC or band, drill team, cheerleaders, football, JV cheerleaders selling in the
thing.
Yeah, isn't that it's incredible.
What it's all about.
That's what it's all about. It is.
That's it.
Because they're learning so much more than just the game. You've said this so many times. Football is just a tool.
That's it.
This is about teaching these kids character and responsibility and work ethic. And so to see that many of them plugged in is just phenomenal. And knowing that there's a whole group of, JVers and freshmen that are participating the night before.
Exactly.
I mean, we've got hundreds of kids literally plugged into some type of program there at the school, and it's just amazing. And you go to these sporting events. We're going to watch the girls play volleyball, which, by the way, tonight the girls swept West Rusk all the way through freshman, JV, and varsity. They're already done. They're never done this early. But they won all 3 games back-to-back, boom. And, fans are pouring in there. You look up, you see the ag teachers and teachers that come out that don't even have kids playing, that are there supporting their ag kids or their ROTC kids. That's when I think that's what I think is neat.
Oh, yeah.
It's special.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about football, since that's what we both love. Congratulations on your win against Pine Tree, your second victory, and had a good game. Walk us through the game a little bit. Let's talk about it. First of all, we talked a little bit about this last week, but Pine Tree's building a program.
Yes.
They built a stadium. They went and got a super coach,
Yes.
and he proved that he is. He's building a program in Pine Tree from Lake Travis, and they're building a program to match the pretty stadium that they've built. So let's talk about the game a little bit. What did you see that you liked? What didn't you like? I mean, they put up a pretty good fight for what we normally see out of Pine Tree.
Yeah, sure. I thought first half, defensively, we played really well because I think they're a lot better offensively as a team. And we really shut them down pretty well in the first half. Offensively, executed pretty well in the early parts of the half. About midway in the second quarter, we had a few things where we didn't help ourselves a little bit, shot ourselves in the foot, penalty, this and that. But, to give them credit, they hung in there. The Pine Tree kept playing. Second half, felt like we got a little fatigued. We probably could have been a little smarter as coaches, to be honest, how we use some of our kids. You're always learning things, as a coach too.
Sure.
So I think we in a way, we may have, as much as we try to play fast, we may have even burned up a few of our own guys a little bit. So we learned some things from that. But they hung in there. But it was the kind of thing. Again, our kids hung in there, kept battling, found a way, and that's what it's all about. So I told them games like that, all that's going to pay off. Down the road.
Sure.
Because all those games, you just when you have to battle a little bit, when there's a little bit of friction, good things usually come out of friction.
I tell you what, they had some size on that side of the ball.
Yeah, they did. Offensive line, they could kind of lean on you a little bit, and they had a couple of receivers that were pretty talented.
Yep.
The quarterback could make a few plays.
Yeah.
And so, just all in all, I thought kicking game, we blocked another kick, which was huge. We blocked an extra point in every game so far. And we won the kicking game in every game so far. We really take a lot of pride in that, in the hidden yards. And I don't have the time to break all that down for you, but we do. And, we won the kicking game, which, and we feel like when we win that, you have a pretty good chance to give yourself a chance to be successful.
It's all about field position.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
On both sides.
Points, you talk about, points taken away with a block kick, points scored with field goals and extra points that are made. And like I said, field position, either putting them in poor or you getting in great, one or the other.
It's amazing to me because I've been in the field house enough to understand how it works, but I've watched the charts and things you guys track, the things you would never think are even important in a game. You guys are micromanaging those things.
Sure.
Winning the kicking game.
Process.
Who won in the punting game? Who won in the kicking? Who won kick return?
Right.
Those things that we don't think about. We think about, well, it's about touchdowns and defense wins championships, but really it's in those special teams a lot of times who gives up the most yards or who doesn't.
Oh, right. It's the little details. I mean, we try to, it's the process. There's things that result in success. Certain things have to happen for you to have success. We focus on those things, and then we let the success take care of itself. We're not big. Let's don't talk about winning. Let's talk about the things it takes to make winning happen.
Yeah,
right.
it's fascinating.
Those things, then the rest of it kind of takes care of itself.
It's a very complicated game. It really is. It can't be.
We try to not make it too complicated.
It's a complicated game. It really is. That many people doing that many things, there's a lot can go wrong. So it's amazing we ever get off a play. Let's talk a little bit about this week. Okay, we got our nemesis, Tatum. Yeah. In recent years, they have become the new Gladewater, really. It's a rivalry. Andy Evans still there, been there over a decade now. Fantastic coach, gets results, battles. It's always a battle. I think the record set in our stadium of like 7,000, 8,000 people was against Tatum a few years ago, you remember?
Sure was.
And so, everybody's going to turn out from Tatum.
Yep.
Everybody's going to turn out from Gilmer for this. What can we expect to see?
I don't think you're going to see the old typical Gilmer Tatum. I mean, Tatum's athletic. They're going to be well coached. They're going to, on defense, they're athletic, so they're going to run and tackle you well. Offensively, they're going to have the kind of players, like we've kind of seen, like an LE or something, where you miss a tackle,
he's gone.
They can hurt you, in one play. They have those kind of players, and
they're well coached,
and they're going to be lined up and do things right. So, we'll have to do what we do well, so that's what we try to focus on. That's enough about them. Now we got to make sure the Buckeyes do what they need to do.
All right. Jeff Trader, I never could get this out of him. Can I get a score prediction?
A score?
Yes.
I'm never a score guy. I'm really not.
What is it with these head coaches? They
I'm not
never
a score
think.
guy. I'm not.
They just throw us a bone, you know.
Yeah.
But,
I'll try to score as many as I can.
yeah, that's right.
Hold them to as few as I
That's
can.
right. That's a good answer.
That's the best I can do for
That's
you.
good. So a whole lot to a whole little,
And we
hopefully.
hope. That's the
the
plan.
goal.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Let's talk just for a second before we close. You have a special group of individuals on your team. Every week we're going to recognize some group, whether it's the scout team or whoever. This week we're going to kind of talk about your captains. Tell us about your captains and why they're important to what you do.
Okay. We've got 11 senior captains. Those captains are selected by their teammates throughout the off season, which is January through May. And so that we feel like that's very special because there's something their teammates have seen in them.
Right.
Whether it's their consistency, their work ethic, it's an obvious commitment to the program. But we've got 11. We've got Cameron Granville, who Cameron really played well this last week. He played well the first week too, but really had a really good game this last week. Cameron Bowman, who plays both defense and offense, inside receiver. We've got DeMarco Boyd, which most
Never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him. Yeah. And it's done well both offensively and defense. Devin Smith, who's kind of coming off an injury, is getting closer. You got Jake Traylor, who's been playing tackle for us. You got Johnny Perez, who's been playing guard and tackle for us. Okay, you've got Jackson Sykes, which of course Jackson unfortunately lost for the year with a knee injury in the Hallsville scrimmage.
That's hurtful.
Yeah, Jackson's such a passionate kid. Loved the game. Good player offensively and defensively and in the kicking game. Just quote unquote, he's a football player type guy. Block you, tackle you, catch a pass. Just do a little bit of everything. So you had that. You had Tristan Oliveris. Old Tristan, he was down there in the
Love
trenches.
watching that kid.
Buzz
Tough, yeah.
Lucas Garrett, who right now Lucas is kind of coming off a little bit knee that's been tweaked, but he's getting better and getting close. And you have Zod Heath, who plays both offense and defense, and then the quarterback Zach Spears. So really fortunate. That's a great group of senior leaders. And
seemed like a good group this year.
Good group of young men. They're committed to it. They want to lead. They've taken that on. The teammates have said, "Hey, that's what we think you are," and they're growing. We're trying to grow them up as leaders, and that's an important part of our program too. I mean, we're trying to. We've got kids at every level. We've got kids entering in as freshmen and that are just they're in that follower position. That these guys are at the top of the pyramid. They're in the leadership position, and they got to take on the responsibilities of that. And we try to teach them how to do that because hopefully they're going to be leaders in our communities, in our homes, and all that. So I mean, that's a big part of what we feel like we want to do. We're trying to develop those leaders to be great leaders.
It's awesome. That's what I love about being involved in this program, and it's a pleasure for me to get to play just a small part. And I know the whole community is behind you guys and excited about that. We're excited about those guys and all the guys that they lead and the leaders that are being developed underneath them. Because one group sets the pace for the next group.
Most definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, great, Coach. Good luck against Tatum this week. We hope that's a whole lot to a whole little.
There we go.
That's good.
That's the plan. You know that.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off. Again, a pleasure to be with Coach Matt Turner. I'm Jeff Rash. Want to remind you, you can watch the Coach's Corner with Matt Turner every Saturday morning right after the games, 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 sharp on eText. And then you can watch the replay again at 5:30 on Wednesday night. All right? So make sure you check that out. And again, Matt, thanks and good luck. Let's go beat the Tatum Eagles.